Hello, Pen. Oops, sorry. Clearing my lens. Hello, Penny. That's okay. I know. So many things to figure out, right? Um, how are you? And anyone else that's here? Who else is here? Stevie, good morning. How are you ladies doing? What's going on today? Anything going on in your body that you want to share? Doesn't anyone have any aches and pains? Um, yeah. So here we are on a beautiful Wednesday, focusing on wellness, taking time out for ourselves. Super important. I just finished up one of my Healthy Gut, Healthy Bones group courses that I had running for the last 11 weeks. And it was so nice to hear about the new lifestyles the ladies were implementing. And one thing that came up was the aspect of the physical practice. And this is a course where these women have osteoporosis. So bone health is a big focal point, and the program Healthy Gut, Healthy Bones, so important to have a healthy gut for healthy bones. And it was just really nice to hear those that actually were able to incorporate movement into their lives. But also, that was a topic of how challenging it is to show up for yourself every day and to do movement. And so that is why I do this. That is why we're here. So for yourself, really acknowledging that you're showing up today and that anything you do, whatever you do, how much you move, whatever, that you're doing something amazing for your body, that you're supporting lymphatic flow, blood flow, hydrating your tissues, hydrating your joints, moving potential congestion, clearing the cobwebs. All of that happens every single time. Focusing on your breath, keeping your mouth closed, breathing in through your nose. It's just so tremendous. And the time that you're here, you're getting all of that benefit. So I really want you to acknowledge that you're here and kind of pat yourself on the back that you showed up, because it really is an accomplishment when we show up for ourselves. So let me see, I want to make sure that this light is on. Yeah, okay. So if there isn't anything else that anybody wants to say, I'm going to go back to my post. All right. Okay. So moving the body, stretching, coming into whatever posture it is that's being shared at that moment, holding it for whatever time frame you can, doing your best to move your body, really to manage your mind and stay present moment, super important for health. So whatever amount of time that can happen for you is great. All right, so I would like to start a little different today. I'd like to do an elevation of the pelvis. So it's called the supported bridge posture. And we elevate the pelvis, it's an inversion. So the pelvis is higher than the heart and the head. And when that happens, gravity actually draws the fluids down towards the heart and the throat. And there's little sensors in the aorta, the aortic arch by the heart, and the carotid arteries of the neck. There's nervous system receptors there. So when you have extra volume of fluid, lymph and blood, when you have that extra, this is in the circulatory system that this is perceived. So when you have an extra volume, it actually slows down your heart rate. So there are studies that show that inversions are great for heart health. The counterindication, though, is anyone with unmanaged high blood pressure. So if that's you, then either no elevation of your pelvis or moderate it, use a blanket or something shorter. I'm using a yoga bolster, and these are pretty solid. They're pretty tough. So even with body weight on them, there's not a lot of shifting in this size of this. So this is going to be this size. A bolster is definitely a softer place for your body to be placed. The other option is a block, to elevate on a block, or to fold blankets, or to get towels or pillows. So putting your block and your strap off to the side, or keep your strap, or keep your block if you're going to be using that as your prop. And then when you support your head, because there's a downward movement of pressure, don't have too much of an elevation in the blanket. For some, maybe even no blanket might be doable for you. So whatever it is, this is a great way to support heart health, to really elicit the relaxation response. And that is where the body heals and repairs and restores, is when we are in a place of relaxation. The body cannot repair itself under stress. The body is shifting into safety and getting out of here. So when we want to take care of ourselves, we have to also have the mental part. You could do all these amazing things for yourself, light candles, sniff beautiful oils, be in a dark room, be on your back, all the things that will help to stimulate relaxation and healing. But if you're in your mind worried about tomorrow, what's going to happen, or all the things that we spend our lives worrying about, then you will not be triggering the relaxation response and the healing response. So we cannot heal in a state of stress. So let's come and practice what not being in stress is like, using our connection to our breath when we're in this posture, using the posture to help, and then using the breath and the mind to be in the breath. So you're going to take your mind from here, and you're going to bring your mind to here, your nose, and then we'll bring our minds into our body. So get your props handy, whatever that is for you. Have it nearby. Bring yourself onto your side, and then reach your hand away so that you come down onto the ground. And then the prop is going to go underneath your pelvis. So bring it nearby, lift your body off the ground, and bring the prop underneath the pelvis, and arrange yourself in a way that you actually feel, maybe you feel a little stretch right around the hips, maybe around the belly area, and then arrange the blanket behind your head so that it's supportive, but doesn't lift your head too high away. And even for some of you, it may be better to have nothing behind your head. So whatever it is, pay attention to what's the right thing for you. A great restorative yoga posture, the supported bridge, that's what this is called. Make sure your head is nice, the back of the neck is nice and long, chin is towards your chest. Hands are on the belly. Then close your mouth. Begin to arrive. Let your awareness come to this moment. First, noticing whatever you do with your eyes closed, the sounds around you, the temperature in the room. Maybe even thinking of what day of the week is this? Where are you at physically in this moment on the globe? Then bring your awareness to sensory aspects of your body. Your feet, do you feel them on the ground? If you'd like, you can walk your feet a little closer, take them a little wider than your body, allow them to fall into each other. And if that brings tension into the back, you could walk the feet away and kneecaps are pointing up towards the sky. So notice what is the best for your body. What's the most relaxed position for you? Feel your legs. Feel your pelvis on whatever it is you have under you. Allow the weight to relax.
Bring your awareness to the back of the body, by the shoulder blades, by the upper back. Feel what's happening there. Bring your awareness to your neck, or really reach your head away. You may need to lift your head up, tucking your chin towards your chest and lengthening the back of the neck. Bring your hands onto your belly. Bring your elbows and your forearms really close to your body so they're resting on the ground. And then you allow your hands to be in your belly. So the fingers may not touch, depending on how high your prop is. That's okay. Mouth is closed, breathing in and out through your nose. And begin to guide the breath down to your belly so you feel your hands moving. And then noticing with that movement, do you feel your belly moving? And if you do, is it right below the ribs? Can you slow it down? Can you actually let your breath go down towards your legs? Make the breath really slow, deep. Feel it moving down towards your legs. Noticing if your mind wanders, bring it back to your belly. Bring it back to the slow breath. Bring it back to breathing down to your legs, feeling your belly move as much as you can. And then visualize your diaphragm, the breathing muscle that's around the lower ribs. As you inhale, it moves downward. See if you could feel that movement downward, not just the top and the front of your body, the sides and the back, all the way at the lower ribs, the back of the body, moving down towards your legs. Noticing if your mind wanders, gets distracted, leaves the present moment, goes to the past or the future. It's what it does. So just notice that. You could keep your hands here, or you could bring your hands out to the side and pretty high to activate the shoulder blade area, the upper back muscles to help support the top part of the chest. Palms up towards the sky, or leave your hands on your belly. Leave your awareness in your diaphragm, feeling that movement. Keeping yourself here, grounded to this present moment. I like to add a counting breath, a rectangle called Savitri Pranayama, a way to keep your mind occupied with visualizing a rectangle and using counting to keep you grounded to this present moment. We'll start off with a 2x4 rectangle and move up to a 3x6. Keep your mouth closed, breathing in and out through your nose. Take a big exhale. Let's begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I messed that up. Sorry. Okay, very present moment. Like, wait, we didn't do the hold. Okay. So close your mouth, close your eyes. We're going to count, visualizing the rectangle, Savitri Pranayama. 4, 2, 4, 2. Big exhale to prepare. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. Adding on. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Continue on your own, visualizing the rectangle. Choose the right count for you. Visualize the rectangle. Keep yourself present moment. Wherever you are, finish this breath and take 2 more complete rounds, staying connected to the visualization of the rectangle, counting, staying present moment. Letting your breath go. Eyes are closed, mouth is closed. Breathing gently, softly. Noticing, how do you feel? What's the quality of your energy? Quality of your mind? Quality of your body? Do you feel the heaviness of your body? Heaviness of the limbs? Heaviness of the body on the prop that's supporting you? The more relaxed you become as you practice yoga, the more relaxed you can become as you practice breath, as you practice present moment. Each moment you're able to stay in the present moment. You allow for more relaxation, more muscular release. So that held tension in our muscles starts to melt. You feel the heaviness of your body. It's a sign that you're getting better at being able to calm your nervous system. Present moment awareness with breath. And that's the zone we need to be in to heal, to repair. Bring your awareness to your fingers and toes as you begin to move them. Reaching down to take the prop out from under. Push your hips up, put the prop off to the side. Let your body go down onto the ground. And bring your body into a fully stretched position. Arms overhead if your shoulders will allow that. And stretch yourself here. Keep your mouth closed often, maybe through the whole entire practice. Practice nose breathing, warming up the breath to body temperature, trapping things that are in the air for your nervous system to manage, releasing relaxation molecules for the airways to increase oxygen flow, to support energy production, support detoxification, help the kidneys maintain the proper pH in your blood, which will keep the minerals in your bones because the bones dissolve to release alkalizing minerals for your body to be in the proper pH. So all of that is happening each moment. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, slowly draw one knee into your chest. Draw the knee in as deep as you can. Hold here, noticing what you notice on your body. Where's the tightness? Where's the stretch? Where do you feel whatever it is you feel? If you feel your chest pulling away from the floor, you might need to support your head a little more with a deeper fold of the blanket. So you could release your leg, reach up, fold the blanket, if that's something you need. Inhale, release that leg, and exhale slow. Go slow here as you activate the muscles of the hip joint to draw the leg into the chest. Let all the muscles that need to arrange your skeleton to do this do their job, and then hold on to either the shin or underneath the hamstring area. Once you arrive with the eyes closed, noticing what you notice in your body today. Where do you feel tension? Or do you feel tension? Now, coming from a straight leg position is more challenging for the core, for the stabilizing muscles of the body, and for the back. So if this is not good for your low back, keep your knees bent and just draw in the knee from a bent knee position. Let's inhale to straighten the arms and the legs. Exhale, draw the knee in, the opposite knee. Inhale to straighten, and exhale to draw the other knee in. So moving with breath, moving your legs, releasing, stretching, strengthening, moving, increasing flow, removing congestion in your body, clearing your cobwebs. Exhale slowly to bring the knee in. Inhale slowly to release the leg. See how your body moves. This is the movement of walking, one leg and then the other. So the stabilizers in the trunk are a part of this. Core muscles, spinal muscles, hip flexors. You exhale to draw the knee in. Really pull the knee as deeply as you can towards your chest, trying to flatten the low back on that side when you exhale. What's happening to your low back? How does your core feel? How does your mind feel with this simple movement, knees to chest, supporting digestion of the food in your belly, digestion of the thoughts in your mind, digestion of whatever is compressed back into your system, the cobwebs, sticky stuff that contributes to arthritis as you push it out of your joints back into the system. What's happening to your low back? And then let's all of us, the next time you put a foot down, keep the foot on the ground. Don't let the leg go straight. Keep the knee bent. Exhale to draw the opposite knee in. See how much easier it is to flatten the low back now. So you're doing bent knees now, from straight knees to bent knees. Draw the knee in deeply. Feel that low back pressing into the ground. Feel the top thigh pressing into your belly. One of the most therapeutic movements in the practice of yoga is this, right here. Apanasana, knees to chest, also known as wind releasing pose. The flexion position in the body stimulates relaxation. So this is a variation of forward folding, but it's safe for the spine for those of you with osteoporosis. Exhale, draw the knee in, push the knee towards the belly. So simple yet so profound. As you exhale, contract your core. Draw the knee in deeply. On this next one, you're going to draw both knees into your chest. Hold them really tight, either on top of the shins, underneath the hamstrings. And if you're able to, turn yourself into a ball, holding onto your elbows. Make sure that your spine is not rounding right by the low ribs. So you're pressing your knees into your chest, pressing the lower back into the ground, holding your head up and your neck, which requires muscular action for the upper back and neck. So if it's too intense for your head, then maybe you need to put your head down. If you're able to keep it up, you're strengthening your postural muscles, your upper back and neck muscles. Take some deep breaths here, mouth closed, breathing your belly into your legs. One more. And then bring your knees down onto the ground, your feet down onto the ground, knees away from you. Notice what you notice here. You just compressed everything, held that for a little while, and then when you released it, when you released yourself, you created flow. You removed obstruction. Take your feet wide, maybe all the way off the mat. Let's do a little here, first starting at hips, then allowing the pelvis to join, then allowing the low back, and knowing the difference between all of that. So you have the blanket behind your head, kneecaps are up towards the sky. Let's take the arms out to the side, because when the arms are out to the side like this, you activate the shoulder blades in the back of the body, and you help protect your heart, your spine, the upper spine. Spinal health is really important for healthy aging. So bringing your awareness to the midsection where your core is, you're going to need your core for this. So right below the ribs is where the diaphragm is. That's the top of the core. Pelvic floor is the bottom of the core. Then you've got the obliques, which are like a girdle. You've got transverse abdominis, deep support core muscles. Then you have that thin layer on the top, the six-pack ab section, the rectus abdominis. So that whole section is going to be activated. See if you can do that right now. Feeling pelvic floor movement. You feel something in the center of your pelvis, inward and upward. And then with the diaphragm, can you feel your rib cage at the top getting a little more narrow and the front ribs moving down a tiny bit towards center? And then you're hugging your lumbar spine. So feel all the muscles coming into the spine to hug it. Do that a couple of times. Feel that deep muscular action. That's your core, stabilizers, support. And it's great when we're in the supine position with the eyes closed to feel all of this, because this is what you need when you're outside walking around. This is what helps support you for balance. So feel this. And then bring your arms out to the side. So let's begin with the kneecaps at first. Soles of the feet stay on the ground. Can you let your kneecaps go side to side? Feet are as wide as the mat. You could have your heels on and your toes off. Let your kneecaps go side to side. And keep the soles of the feet on the ground. And see if that's the farthest you could go, keeping the soles of the feet on the ground. See if you feel that right where your legs attach to your body. Notice if the core is involved. Notice if the pelvis wants to tilt. And then try to flatten your low back into the ground as you do this. Notice if that changes anything, and where does the stretch go now? Where do you feel the stretch? Don't let your pelvis tilt off the ground. You're just moving your leg bones in the sockets, lubricating the hip joint. And then bring yourself back to center. Now you're going to let the legs go a little farther. You're going to feel the opposite buttock of the direction your legs are going on, lifting off the floor. If you push that leg away from you and try to unbend the hip, you'll keep the stretch in the front of the hip and in the leg and not aggravate the low back. When you come back to center, contracting your core to bring yourself back up. You inhale, push that leg away. Feel like you're unbending that hip joint. And then the core to come back to center. Try to go as big as you can where you feel the stretch right here in the front of the body. So if you do feel it in the low back, it's because your focus is on trying to get the legs to touch the floor. You've allowed your pelvis to pop up away from the floor, and you're twisting your pelvis. So you're putting a lot of torque on the low back, activating low back muscles and the vertebra. The way to get out of that is not to let the pelvis tilt off the ground so much, letting the leg that's coming towards the middle unbend the hip joint. And it's not so much about getting to the ground. You could hold on to the top part of your mat, push that leg away from you, unbending that hip joint to feel that. It'll go all the way up towards your belly and towards your low ribs. See if you could feel that. And the heels are on the ground, toes are up towards the sky. And then bring yourself back to center. Draw your knees into your chest. So for most, this is relaxing. If it's not relaxing for you, keep your feet on the floor. But for many people, this brings your pelvis into a posterior tilt, and it actually puts the low back into what's called flexion, the spine, which is the opposite of the way it is. So you're bringing a stretch into the low spine and even the lower back muscles. Let's take right leg over left, reach up, hold on to your feet. Put your thumbs in your arches if you can. Your arms are on the outside of your legs. Then draw the legs down towards your body. Draw them as much as you can to feel a stretch. It's going to stretch maybe the hip, the glutes, the low back, depending on where you need the stretch. Then try to pull your feet up higher towards your shoulders. You'll get a deeper stretch. And right now the right leg is on top of the left leg, so most of the sensation will be experienced on the left. Notice if that's the case for you. Not everyone's the same. That's usually where it's experienced. And let's switch. Take the left leg on top of the right, reaching up, taking hold of the feet. Thumbs are on the arches. And then drawing the legs towards the body, drawing the feet up high. Notice where you feel the stretch here. Maybe a little more in the center of the right buttock, or maybe not. Noticing what you notice. Push your heart up towards the sky. And then bring both knees into your chest. Let's come onto the side. Take your hand onto the ground. We're going to push away slowly. The slower you go, the more work you're doing, the more opportunity to strengthen your upper body and your wrist and your hand and your shoulder. Push slowly, shoulders, and bring yourself all the way up.
Try to go to your end range of motion when you're doing your practice so that you are stretching as much as you can, lubricating the joints as much as you can. So we'll come into a strengthening posture, plank. It's your practice. For those that need to modify, having the knees a little farther away and the hands, so that if you look at my pelvis, if my pelvis stays right above my knees, it's not so much work for my core. But if I bring my pelvis forward of my knees, then my body has to manage that weight and the core will get activated here. So if you are coming into the modification, make sure you have some space where your pelvis is forward. And if you're going to come into full version of plank, see if you can lift your knees off the floor. Spread your hands a lot, bring your awareness to your fingers and push your fingers into the floor like crazy. So let's make this an endurance plank where you stay up as long as your body would like. Pushing through your heels, focusing on your breath. Count your breath, see how long you could stay up until you feel like, okay, that's enough. And when it is enough, come down onto your knees,
Arms are in front of you, forehead on the ground. Stretch your spine. Don't let your head hang. Keep it active. Use your breath. Use your core. And there's no prizes given out. So you come down whenever you feel like that's appropriate. Not necessarily that you could keep going on and on forever, but where do you feel like you might start to lose your form? To stretch the spine, keep the front of the spine open. Forehead can go on a block, a blanket, a bolster, or the ground if it can reach. Tushy is in the air. Spine is long. Spinal health plays a very important role in healthy aging. Stretch your spine, bring your awareness to your spine, the front of your spine, make sure it's open, stretching, and long. And then take your hands, walk your hands over to the right. And let your head rest on your left hand, stretching the lateral chain, stretching blood vessels, lymphatic vessels, helping support immune function, supporting back health, posture, alignment. Push your left hip to the left. Let your head rest on your left arm. Feel that stretch along the left side. Deep breaths here. Let's come through center. Go to the other side. Let your hands move over to the left. Put your head on your right hand. Push your hips to the right. Feel the stretch on the right side. Take one more breath. And bring yourself back to center. Align your spine. Take your arms a little wider. Let the forehead rest on the ground. Keep your arms straight if you can. Then push your heart towards the ground. Let your forehead touch. Let your nose touch. Take one more breath. And then lift your head up first to bring yourself up. Come all the way off. Come to sit in a rest position. Spinal health, so important for overall health. Probably the most important area.
when it comes to alignment. I mean, of course, all joints being aligned are going to reduce wear and tear and pain and suffering, but really the spine has so much to do with all aspects of us because it's where the nervous system comes, it's where blood vessels branch off or nerves that stimulate organs branch off. It is where your emotions, the way your emotional state is, it's a representative of that. And if you don't correct your spinal health, your spine in the back, you will eventually come stuck. I was just at the physical therapist office last week, and I saw this poor man working with the PT, and the shape of his body was, I don't even know if I could, it was like this. And it was just so hard for him to see. And I looked over and he was so stuck in this position. And I thought, had he known 20 years ago to stand a little straighter, a little straighter, a little straighter, then he wouldn't be here. And you don't just arrive here in one day. You arrive here with every single day of your life, everything you're doing without awareness. So this is about raising awareness to your posture and to your alignment every single day so that you do not end up in this horrible position that is so uncomfortable. And not only does it look uncomfortable, but the compression that it does to your lungs, not allowing the deep breath, has an effect on your biochemistry and physiology. So really staying open is important. Let's come up and let's really facilitate that. Shoulder blades are on the back of the body. So when you take your arms out like this, you slide them towards the center of the spine, opening and stretching the chest. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Stay here. And then go ahead and release. So let's move on to a seated posture, working on spinal health and working on gravity to help stretch a little deeper. So I'm going to use a bolster. You could fold blankets, a couple of blankets, or you could get pillows. I'm going to take the blanket for my ankles when I fold my legs and the bolster to sit on. So get something that you could actually be a little elevated, because elevated is nicer for our back. And when you're in a seated position, you're using postural muscles here to hold yourself up. So it could be a challenge. And that's what we want. We want that challenge so we can work on strengthening the spine, strengthening posture. So come into your seated position and crisscrossing your legs. If that doesn't feel good, put the soles of the feet together. The knees are out to the side. Come onto your bolster or folded blankets or whatever it is for you. And then bring your hands onto your thighs. Close your eyes. Slide your elbows back underneath your shoulders. Feel the elbows underneath the shoulders to help support posture. Noticing what you notice here. Let your awareness go to your knees, to your hips, to your low back, to your spine, shoulders, neck, and head. And noticing what you notice. Where's your body weight? Is your body weight forward? What happens if you push your whole torso back? What happens to your body? What do you notice there? And then blink your eyes open. So let's do a little movement here. First, starting with a circular pattern called a Sufi grind, thinking about this area of the body between the lower ribs and where the legs attach to the body. We're going to stretch the muscles here, the rotational muscles. Think about the lower part of your rib cage, the opening, the oval opening of your rib cage, and then the oval opening of the top of the pelvis. Let's see if we can get the oval of the rib cage to be even farther, wider than the oval opening of the pelvis. Making sure that we keep the spine in its neutral curve position, no rounding. Stay nice and tall. Let's go counterclockwise in small circles to begin with. Trying to bring the lower rib cage on the outside of the top opening of the pelvis. And then go a little bigger. Think of that lower rib cage area going even wider. Take your hands on your thighs, so supporting the body weight. And notice here, do you start to feel your hips getting involved? And then close your eyes if you can, going a little bigger, noticing what you're noticing here. And then start to go even bigger. Feel your body weight moving around. Hands are on your thighs. Inhale, chest is forward. Exhale, torso goes back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Go as big as you can. Inhale when you come forward. Exhale when you go back. Do one more like this. Stretching the hip, lubricating the hip, the spine, muscles of the low back, and then bring yourself back up to center. Get nice and tall. Eyes can stay closed or you can open them. Let's go clockwise, starting small circles. Let the lower oval of the rib cage move around the top oval of the pelvis. Start to get a little bit bigger. Let your awareness be on your lower oval of your rib cage. Notice your hips when you do this. Do you feel sticky parts? Does it feel bumpy or is it a smooth circle? Hands are on your thighs. Throat is open, chest is open. Go a little bigger here. Really important area of the body where the hips are, the low back. See if you can remove congestion here as you move around in circles. Slow down, inhale forward, exhale back. And then take a few more circles, really big, really slow. Feel your hips, feel your low back. Visualize that lower rib cage oval going as wide as it can around the top of the pelvis. And then bring yourself back to center. Nice tall spine. Arrange the oval of the lower ribs on top of the oval of the upper pelvic bone area, your pelvis, and then open your eyes. Take your legs out in front. Shake your legs. Point your toes and flex. Point, flex, point, flex. Really strong here. So as you point, you feel the top of the foot stretch. You can bring your hands beside you, bringing your elbows back. So you're supporting your posture. You point on the inhale. You exhale to flex. Let the energy come through the heels. Point and flex. And then bring yourself back to center. So let's come into a crisscross leg position. Go to come into the position. Legs come in and then switch. Put the other leg there. Arrange yourself so you're comfortable on your bolster. Let's do flexion and extension, moving the spine in the 6 ranges of motion. You want to stretch the front of your spine. So visualize the spine as like jelly donuts. You have a vertebra, a disc, a vertebra, a disc, a vertebra, a disc. The discs have fluid, they have gel in them. Let's move and compress the gel side to side and forward and backwards, and then we'll actually rotate and press down. So I really want you to think about your discs. Degenerative discs are wrinkles on the inside. At least 50% of the people over age 50 have degenerating discs. It is wrinkles on the inside. So let's move that tissue, move those fluids, move the muscles and the bones of the spine. Really think about that. Hold on to your legs, long spine. Lift your heart forward, open your spine, slide the shoulder blades towards center, lift your heart, feel the stretch in the front of your body, and you're trying to press the back of the spine into itself to squish the jelly forward into the front of your spine. Inhale. As you exhale, start to push the low back. So belly towards the low back, and push the jelly back towards the low back bones, the vertebra. If you have osteoporosis, stop there. And if you don't, you can add flexion into the other parts of your spine with length, trying to open up the back of your vertebra and compressing the jelly to the back of the discs. Inhale, all the vertebra compress forward. Exhale, belly button to spine, compress back so that the discs move back. So with osteoporosis, you don't want to compress the front of the body here. So you would only do that to the lumbar spine. If you do not have osteoporosis, you can move more into that lengthened spinal flexion position, compressing the jelly forward, compressing the jelly back, forward and back. Bring yourself back up to center. Now we're going to do side to side. So when you go to the side, you compress this part of your spine and you open up this part of your spine like this. And now the jelly is pushing out this side, not out, but to that side. So lateral flexion, let your arm go in the sky. It's also moving lymph through the system, a lot of lymphatic vessels underneath the armpits, a lot of great movement here. Inhale up, exhale out. Close your eyes if you'd like. And then bring yourself back to center. Your vertebral discs in between your bones, stack, stack, stack. Now we're going to rotate the spine. So thinking about these 24 bones that move, the other 2 are in the pelvis, we're going to try to rotate and move our spine. So let's begin with the 7 in the neck. Let your head look up and to the side. Back to center, not too high up, just slightly up into the side. Let your hands be on your thighs. Now let the rest of the spine right by the rib cage join as you look. Maybe you look a little farther. And if you let your elbow come underneath your shoulder, the direction you're looking in, you'll help to rotate the thoracic spine. And notice you'll feel this right where the low ribs are, right where the middle back meets the low. So make sure it's appropriate for you. You're going to feel more muscles involved. Use your hands like pistons. The elbow comes back, and then the other elbow. Close your eyes if you'd like. And then bring yourself back to center. So take one leg long, take the other leg out to the side. So you've got one leg long and you've got one knee out to the side. Take your hand on the inner leg. Take your other hand in front of you. Look at your thumb, exhale. And then inhale, hand goes up and back. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, up and back. And then back to center. One more. Stay here. Reach long with your hands. Press the back of the hand into the leg. Reach out your fingertips. Long spine, lifted heart. Take one more breath. Bring yourself up and out. Let's go to the other side. Take one leg, the other leg long. Leg is out to the side. So we have this asymmetrical aspect. You have an externally rotated hip here. You have this leg coming straight off the body, keeping the pelvis nice and stable and rotating your spine. Hand comes in front of you. Exhale. Inhale to open. Exhale back. On this next one, we're going to come up and hold. Stay here. Long spine, lifted heart, lengthened spine. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself out. Take your block in between your legs. Spread your legs pretty wide. You're elevated here. Take your hand on your block. Bring your block pretty close to your body as you push down to get as tall as you can in your spine to lift open the front part of your spine. Elbows are underneath your shoulders. Heels are pressing into the ground. Really push your legs into the ground to get a lift in your body. And then take one more breath. And then bring yourself out. Block off to the side. Put your bolster off to the side. Folding your blanket. Before we come back down onto the ground, coming into a squat if you're able to. You could put your blanket underneath your heels if you need. This helps to tonify the pelvic floor. It helps to deeply root the hips in the socket. It helps to stretch the low back muscles, lengthen the spine. You want to make sure you're not rounding in the front of the spine. You want your spine to be in a long, neutral position. Little bouncing action, so you're not really hanging out. But when you do your squat, not everyone can get their heels on the ground. That's okay. But the thing about the squat, you want that long spine. You want to make sure you're not rounding in order to try to get this. You want to have a long spine, using your legs to push on the inside, stretching the adductors, the inner thigh muscles, can be really relieving for tension wise, for hips, for spine, a nice place to come to take a break if you still have all this movement in your joints. And if you still have it, you don't want to lose it, so you got to use it. And then bring yourself out of that. That's one thing I would say, traveling to Asia in particular, how often people are in a squatted position. In one hand, it's a lot of places you'll go in the more rural places, you'll need to do that to go to the toilet. Some places only have a hole in the ground for the toilet, but it's a resting position for a lot of cultures around the world. And so it can be really a great way to stretch the low back. And if you've been standing for a long time, you need to take tension out. So if you still have the ability to bend like that, keep it. Take your hand long and bring yourself down. Grab your strap. Take your strap on your left leg. Head is on the blanket. Hold on to the strap with both hands pretty close to your foot. Bend your leg. Let's bend the leg and then straighten. Bend and straighten. So you're holding pretty close to your foot. Bend and straighten. How smooth is that bend? Does your knee joint come straight towards your body, or is it a little wonky? And then straight leg. Draw the leg back towards the wall behind you. Low back could press into the floor, that's fine. And then if you push with the heel up towards the sky and you pull the toes towards you, you'll feel that going deeper into the calf as well. Really stretch the back of your leg here. Take one more breath. And then bring your leg back. Let's take the other foot. Bend the knee at first. You bend and you straighten. Notice your hip joint, notice your knee joint, your ankle, noticing what you notice. Straight leg. Draw that leg towards the wall behind you. Push the heel up towards the sky, pull the toes towards yourself. Feel that deeper stretch going into the calf area, and be in the deepest stretch that you could handle for a few breaths. Stretching your tissues. Take one more breath. And then come out. Bring your other foot up. Take your feet a little wider than your body. Hold a little deeper down your strap. And then draw the legs back towards the wall behind you. Try to push your tailbone towards the ground. So lengthen your back. Stretch the back of the legs. Feel and notice what you notice here. Take one more breath. And then bring your strap down, knees into the chest. We're going to come into Shavasana, letting all the released energy, the released blocks that you brought into your body today. If you have your prop nearby, you could put it underneath your legs or underneath your pelvis, whatever way you'd like to end the practice today. Close your mouth, stay connected to your breath, and let today's practice seep into the new spaciousness you created during the practice today.
Gently begin to deepen your breath. Let your awareness go around your body to notice the quality. You feel relaxed, energetic, stretched, strong, empowered, hopeful. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And then bend your knees, draw your knees into your chest. Bring yourself onto your side. Take your hand onto the ground and pushing yourself up and away from the floor. Bring your hands to your heart. Press your heart to your hands, hands to your heart. Long spine, awareness on your spine. We're going to bring the breath and the sound of humming up and down the spine today to gently relax the spine. All aspects, energetically, biochemically, physically, letting everything vibrate into place. Take an exhale. Breathe all the way down to the base of your spine. Bowing in Namaste. Take care of your spine. Very, very important. And when you take care of your spine, you're taking care of a lot of the other joints that are important, that are right near it, the shoulders, the hips. So taking care of your spine, really important aspect of being healthy forever.
All right. Ah. You know, practices like today when it's mostly stretching, I mean, there's some strengthening there. I know we did the plank, but when it's mostly stretching, I sometimes wonder, do people feel like, wow, did I, is this a workout or am I doing anything here? But really, there is so much value even in the slow stuff. Mary, sorry. Penny, aw, thank you. Okay. So, well, I hope, Mary, that it worked eventually for you. Great. Thanks, Stevie. All right. Well, sorry, Mary. I don't know what it'll be like recorded. All right. Well, I'm taking a group to Bali in September or August 30th to September 8th. If anyone is interested, contact me for more information. Scotland next week. That's full. Really exciting for me. Those trips are super exciting because then we get to take wellness on the road. Plus, Healthy Gut, Healthy Bones is starting up in May. Another group course, just finished one. Tremendous what the ladies had to say about that when I do my check-in at the 11-week mark on the value they are getting. Oh, sorry, Mary. The recording, Penny, I don't know when it goes live, but I have so many recorded classes on my website or on my YouTube, Debbie Robinson Wellness. So sorry for any of that. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, like, share it with a friend if you'd like, and get on my newsletter list because I'm going to be much more active on my newsletter, sharing a lot more information and ways to stay healthy as we age. All right. Have a great day, everyone. My classes are on my website. Go to my website. Oops. Oh, well, I mean, the information is on my website, but that makes a good thing, Penny. I need to put a link to my YouTube channel. Let me get on that today. All right. Have a great day.